Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to my channel. We are going to continue exploring Tesla's full self-driving technology, its progress, and its limitations here in Melbourne, Australia. So I'm back from a little bit of a hiatus. I'm not sure if you guys realized, but I didn't get a chance to post a video on Friday. I had some unexpected family business to attend to. It was very fun. And so I got a bit sidetracked and didn't get a video out. So my apologies for that. But moving forward, hopefully I can get a few more videos out a week instead of just two. And you guys can see more content from me. So that's a bonus. Well, today we've got a bit of a longer drive, approximately 28 minutes. It's from somewhere in Dandenong. I'm not sure where specifically, but we head back into Melbourne's southeast. As you can see, it's sunset, so it's not completely dark at the start, but it gets pretty dark towards the end of the video. It was a nice drive, sorry, as usual. Well, I could say drive or ride. I think I say both. Whatever. But it was a nice drive. It's smooth as always, safe as always, and there are a few parts in this video which I particularly like. As you can see, as you will see, sorry, there are parts where the full self-driving has to give way and be a little bit more decisive in these one road streets where there are cars parked on either side. So, there will be a car coming in the opposite direction and one of us has to give way. And Tesla, full self-driving, sorry, I think it's doing a much better job at detecting oncoming traffic and being a bit more politer and slowing down. I'm not sure if it's like starting to mimic my own behaviors, but hey, I like it. I like being polite to other drivers and letting them come through and then going after them. And you'll get to see it later on in this video towards the end. I'm going to obviously put the timestamps down the bottom for you to see. This video, I'm going to obviously speed up again since there is only one intervention in this video. I'm going to put it in a timestamp down below again. It wasn't a major intervention. It wasn't even a safety intervention. It was just a mapping problem. So Tesla's full self-driving wanted to turn a bit earlier, and I just took over and wanted a proper right-hand turn. You'll see it later in the video. But if you want, you can sit back and listen to my main topic for today, which will be regarding Tesla's design and minimalist approach to car manufacturing. I sped up the video because we don't want to watch the whole 20 minutes and you guys can just get on with the rest of your day. So I've been getting a few questions about the door handles. So this is a topic which has come up previously. Just to fill you guys in, the Model Y that I'm in, and as far as I can tell, all the rest of the Model 3s and Model Ys on the road don't have the handles above the door frame. So they're commonly referred to as crap handles, because when someone's flying around a corner, you have something to sort of grab onto. A few other people in the comments have told me they're for accessibility, for getting in and out of the vehicle. So I wanted to just address the people who've been commenting and asking me about why these door handles have been removed and why they're not, well, in my opinion, not 100% necessary. So I've mentioned it before, but the design of the vehicle has a really, really minimalist approach to it. It's got a minimalist mindset, a sleekness, and a no parts is better philosophy. And that's prevalent all throughout Tesla's products, specifically their cars. If you look at any of their cars, they're extremely minimalist. In the interior, there's no... and you got to remember, this was a pioneering change in the industry. Before Tesla used this approach in their vehicles, you just get into any other car, maybe 5-year-old car, any non-electric, fully electric 5-year-old car, and you will just see a horrendous amount of clutter in the console, in the sides, everywhere, including those handles, right? Mind you, there's buttons, knobs, condition controls. You know, you get all the way up from like the lowest level entry level car all the way up to like the premium Mercedes. It was just a horrendous mix. This is obviously my opinion, but a horrendous just over saturation of unnecessary buttons and knobs. And so Tesla, the very first car manufacturer to do this, replaced all of that clutter with the touchscreen you see in my dash screen right now. After that, then a lot of other car manufacturers started adopting this huge screen. So it originally started with the Model S, right? So the Model S came out, had this huge touchscreen. Actually, it was a little bit different because it was actually angled a little bit more towards the driver. But from this touchscreen, if you guys aren't aware, you can control everything in the car, from the position of the speakers to the air conditioning control, temperature, the flow of air. It's just, there's so much data and so much packed into this one screen. And what that has done is allowed Tesla to just eliminate all that clutter, eliminate all this unnecessary bloat, and eliminate the cost. Because you got to think about, right, this from a design perspective. If you've got all these thousands of parts that go into a vehicle and you're having to manufacture them, and if you're not manufacturing them in-house, that means you're outsourcing to a third-party supplier to design or possibly just build to your specifications, produce that item or that unit or whatever it is, get it sent to your factory, put it together under labor, robots, whatever it is. That all takes money. That all takes time, right? And so Tesla, with its like minimalist approach, you know, physics principles first, you know, ground up approach of building these vehicles, they went completely in the opposite direction to what the car manufacturing industry has been doing for decades. I would say even more than decades. It's been a long time since the motor vehicle came out, and not much has changed. You know, we've still got four wheels, and but you know what I'm saying. In the interior of the vehicles hadn't changed in so long. I mean, until the Model S came out, it was just like revolutionary, and now it's just the norm in all Tesla vehicles. So this has been at the forefront of Tesla's design philosophy to reduce bloat, reduce clutter, and therefore actually this is the most important part, to reduce the cost of manufacturing, getting these vehicles on road, and that cost obviously gets passed on to the consumer. If you can produce a comparable vehicle for the same price, but have way better features and be way safer, have more technology in it, blah, 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 you're going to be more competitive in a global market. And here's some food for thought. I'm not sure if you guys know this, but I'll give you a list of the number of purely electric vehicle manufacturers right now who are selling electric vehicles for a profit. All right. Probably no surprise here, but at the top of the list is Tesla. They make the biggest margins on their selling of their electric vehicles. They need more than any other company in the world, right? They make profit, and how they've done that is they've vertically integrated all their processes. They make everything in-house. They've reduced clutter. They've reduced bloat. Anything not necessary, they've cut out completely, right? And that ties into where these handles come in, right? They deem them not necessary for cars these days. So they have reduced all of these things, cut away all of these things, changed like the entire manufacturing like landscape, you know. So with all these changes, they've been able to sell electric vehicles for a profit, right? So they're number one at the top. Can you guess what the second car manufacturer on that list is? Well, I'll give you a hint. There is no person on that list. There is no car manufacturer on the list. Right now, as of April 2026, there is one company producing electric vehicles for a profit, and that's Tesla. So you got to take this into account. I've talked about some BYD vehicles in the past. You name me any electric vehicle manufacturer right now on planet Earth. They are all losing money on their electric vehicles. So every time they sell an electric vehicle, they lose money. And you may think, wow, how are they still in business? Well, they have other parts of their companies which make up for the loss. For example, BYD makes most of their money from the batteries that they produce. They're a battery supplier. So whenever they sell a vehicle, it loses them money. But they make that back through other means, like their hybrid vehicles or their battery sales, just for example. But there is only one company, and that's Tesla, which sells their vehicles for a profit. So when you think about that, it all ties in together, with the elimination of certain parts, elimination of certain things in vehicles. And this ties back into the original subject, which was the door handles. Those accessibility handles, whatever they are. They don't exist in the car. And they don't exist in the car for a reason. They don't exist because Tesla has deemed them not necessary to be able to sell vehicles at a profit. And so it's a big picture, right? You look at their models. There's Model Y, there's a Model 3. They're their standard models. There is no variation. There are certain variants, right? But at the base models, there's Model Y and there's Model 3. Then you've got the luxury versions, which are Model S and Model X. And if you look through the history, there is no big change. Their whole philosophy is providing vehicles for the majority of the market. People have said before, produce one vehicle for one category. So Model 3 is the sedan version, Model Y is the SUV version, Model X and S, they're the luxury versions. And all those models in those categories are the best-selling vehicles, electric vehicles. Well, not the Model Y is the best-selling vehicle in the world. Like, it's not even an best electric vehicle. It's been the best model by margins for like 3 years running. The Model Y in the world. That's insane, right? And how were they able to do this? By keeping things so simple. Like that old, that old saying, KISS, keep it simple, stupid. Like, just keep things simple, keep things basic, but make them the best quality and the best thing for that category. And this all ties into their idea of reducing cost. Like, if you don't have to produce like 10 or 11 different models. You just provide one model with, the Model 3, the Model Y is even based off the Model 3 chassis, So you don't, they've just done a crazy, amazing job to be so competitive against, you got to remember, this is an American company and they're competing against the likes of massive Chinese companies, which have much larger workforce, much lower overheads for, manufacturing, etc. Even though they do have one of the biggest plants in China, Tesla does have a mega factory in Berlin and Austin and I think in California. Yeah. Like Elon Musk has said previously, and I think I have as well in this video, I can't remember, but the best part is no part. If you can eliminate as many parts as possible, then you can produce vehicles for much more competitive prices and sell those vehicles for a profit and remain competitive in like an emerging landscape of many electric vehicle companies. That's what they've done. You can see it with other companies like SpaceX, X/Twitter. Despite what you think of Elon Musk's own personal opinions, he's very good at cutting waste and making things for much cheaper than what the industry standard ever said was possible. We have seen it with many examples in the past where people, industry experts, have said that you can't do this. You can't produce an electric vehicle for mass manufacture at a mass scale for consumers profitably. Well, tick. You can't produce a rocket which is going to land and be reusable. Well, tick. You can't produce a fully electric semi-trailer vehicle to haul goods, long haul goods across the country, aka the US. Well, tick. You can't run Twitter/X without hundreds of engineers and hundreds of staff. Well, tick. I think right now, as of now, I think X is like, don't quote me, I think like 20 engineers working for the company. It's a very small footprint. I guess with a dedicated, hardcore workforce who are really tied into their mission and their goal. And so with that, yeah, that's my spiel or my rant or my explanation on why there are no handles on the Model Y. It's also they've also talked about the handles actually getting in the way of deploying the side airbags or the curtain airbags in the Model Y. So Tesla has always stated that number one priority is safety, to make the safest vehicles. And ANCAP has given the Model Y, Model 3 like one of the best vehicle scores consecutively. ANCAP is the Australian safety consumer, blah, blah, blah. They have given it like one of the best safety scores for any vehicle on the roads at the moment, and consecutively for the past years, for so long now. And because of the number, I think I said in a previous video, but yeah, it's actually safer to be a child or a baby in a Model 3 than it is to be an adult in a Model 3 or Y. Like the amount of airbags, safety, crumple points, all that ties into having just a vehicle which is extremely safe. So deploying those airbags, they found out that making those side curtain airbags deployable safely, they had to remove those door handles. So that's just another reason why they removed the door handles. And so I guess it brings me to the point of like accessibility. So who would be the most affected by the removal of the handles in the roof? Well, one of my commenters said that, and this makes sense, you would think that they would disproportionately affect older people getting in and out of the vehicles because they need to use those those handles. So, well, I know this is probably anecdotal evidence, but I'll let you in on a little bit of information. My mother-in-law just had her second hip surgery. So she is now coming home from a rehab hospital, and I have been at the hospital, just visiting and, spending some time with her. And while I was there, a physiotherapist came in to give her an example or a brief of how to get in and out of a vehicle safely after having hip surgery. And you wouldn't believe it, but the entire video and the entire process does not include using those door handles in the car. It's not to say that you don't have to use them. They just do not say to use them because not all cars have them. And so it was very interesting. If you don't know, if hip surgery is a pretty big deal. And so the whole process is like, you just basically stand up straight. I'll try to explain that. Stand up straight, bum first, and swing your legs over into the car seat while stabilizing yourself on the A-pillar and in the passenger seat, the dashboard. You don't use those door handles above the door, the whatever access handles at all. So my mother-in-law is 72 years old. If your idea that older people need those door handles to get in and out of a vehicle, it's unfortunately not the case. Because if a 72-year-old woman can, after hip surgery, can get into the vehicle without using those handles safely, using a tried and tested method, then the idea of having those access handles there for older people just isn't the case anymore. So that's my anecdotal evidence of why those access handles are not useful in cars anymore. Especially with, like, I'm not sure if you guys know, the Teslas have an easy entry mode. So when before I get into the vehicle, and your passenger as well, before you get into the vehicle, the car will actually move your seat down and backwards for you, or whichever way you want. You can actually preset the position, so it'll actually, for you to get in and out of the vehicle a lot easier. So whenever you unbuckle your seatbelt, the seat will move down and backwards to allow you to exit the vehicle a lot easier than it would be, and with the steering wheel getting in the way sometimes or whatever, depending on how you like to drive. And then as you get into the vehicle, it's the seats already down and back for you. You just click on your profile, boom. It moves back into your position for driving, and then you buckle up, good to go. Hey guys, I just wanted to interrupt my rant because there's the intervention coming up. I forgot to let you guys know. Anyway, as you can see, the vehicle turns into the right lane here to turn right, but it's actually not where we're supposed to turn. There's a right turn up ahead, which I turn into right now. So this has happened a couple of times in the past with the map system. It's not too big a deal. I was able, obviously, to take over, guide it back, and take the next right turn. It's only happened to me, I would say maybe like 3 or 4 times. Full self-driving thinks, oh, there's a right turn coming up. This is where the bay to turn right is, or sorry, the lane to turn right is. I get it. It'll get into the right lane or start to turn to the right lane. And I'm like, oh no, I know this road. This is not where we're supposed to turn. And then I take over and just guide it back into the correct lane to turn right. As you can see, I think maybe it might have even been this spot previously. Yeah, maybe, because the right turns are very close to each other. So anyway, it's not a big intervention, but it is an intervention nonetheless. Thinking about it, if I had just allowed it to continue, it would have turned right. And then, maps would have updated and been like, hey, you're going the wrong way. We'll take now this alternate route. Maybe would have added 30 seconds, a minute onto the trip. Overall, not really something to be, I guess, unless you're in a hurry, of course, but unless, no. But think about it. If you're in an Uber or a taxi and they took a wrong turn, you're like, hey, would you even say something? Or would you even be paying attention? Maybe you're paying attention, but, he'd be like, oh, sorry, I'll, take this different route instead. So not much of a big delay, but a delay nonetheless, and an intervention nonetheless. Anyway, I'll cut back to my rant right now. And then when you get out, same thing. Unbuckle your seatbelt. Seat moves down and back for you to get out. Easy. So it's actually really easy to get in and out of these Tesla vehicles. So I don't think older people will have much trouble getting in and out of these vehicles if they know how to get in and out correctly. So I hope that addresses, and I hope I have explained at least adequately why I believe Tesla has removed those door handles. I hope you are happy with that explanation. If you're not, you can always comment and tell me that, no, I don't agree. They should have them. And I will take on board what you say. But I did my best. I hope that makes sense. Because if you look at it from the bigger picture, from a macro perspective, from a design philosophy, business model, it sort of does make sense. I hope you get it. So you guys would have seen in my previous videos or not, but I particularly like this street we're about to head down. There's a right turn here, and then we come into a street near my place and our block of places, where there are many cars parked on the left and it turns into a single lane. So as you can see, there's a car coming right now. Full self-driving pulls to the left, lets them through, and then we continue. I like this because there's a lot of oncoming traffic. You have to give a lot of way to oncoming traffic. You can be, decisive a little bit more if you know your dimensions of the vehicle, which Tesla does really well. Full self-driving does really well. But it's just a really good showcase. I think it's improving every time. Like, it is being more polite a lot earlier. Like, as you can see, it's seeing someone coming way up the road. Okay, pulling to the left, and then as soon as they pass, oh, yep, there's another car. Sweet. So I actually knew there was another car. I didn't see that one. And then, boom, straight in. Very human-like, very natural. Doesn't feel rushed. Doesn't feel rigid or skittish. It's just smooth sailing. And this is my favorite part of coming home this way. Anyway, so up the air. Oh, there's another one. Yep, sweet. See, pulls the left. Again, slows down. Even stops, I think. Yeah, this guy's gone a bit slow. And then we're on our way again. So that was like 4 sort of like really neat turn-ins and then outs. But anyway, that's all I have for today. We are gonna park pretty soon. It's not more interesting from here, but if you're still watching to the end, I know it was a long video. I know it was a long rant, but something I like to talk about. So if you like the video, well, actually, no. I hope you liked the video. I hope it enjoyed you. And this was another drive from Tesla using Tesla's full self-driving. So anyway, I will catch you guys in the next video. Hope to see you soon. Bye.